There we go. Okay, so Oracle Season 2 starts with a pretty boring sequence that doesn't really have anything happening. You meet Dean, or Dean finds you, technically, so it's the other way around. And you have to talk to every member in her troop, including Impa, who is just there. And then you can talk to Dean, get a small cutscene, and then all hell breaks loose. So we're gonna see both runners do that. Not much optimization going on so far. Mashing is just pressing A and B as fast as you can. Both of them clear text boxes. Directional inputs also close text boxes, but we're not gonna see that here. So yeah, after a little bit of dancing, something starts happening, and it's Onox, the bad guy, just destroying everyone here except Impa and getting Dean. None of the other members of the troop survived this, as far as I know. They are nowhere in this place. Impa has a house just a few screens away, and she lands there, I guess. But the other ones are just gone forever. They don't even have names, so whoops. Onox, the bad guy, decides to copy Ocarina of Time, we can see that, and put Dean into a big rupee. I guess it's a rupee, I don't know. I always saw it as a rupee, but I guess it's just some crystal that happens to be that size, or that shape, whatever. Imprisoning Dean, the Oracle of Seasons, makes it so everything in the world of Holodrum here becomes very chaotic, and the seasons are completely random, or technically random, not really. They separate in specific areas, except one that is exactly random, coming right up. So Sagaz is the first who is gonna be out of the outro or intro and going into Horn Village. Gets winter, which is not a good omen. Both runners are gonna make their way to Hero's Cave here to grab the sword, the first item and the thing that needs to be had. Let's just say that. Whatever. Right now they don't have any way to kill anything, so they are just gonna have to try not to get killed. First from here, just move as quickly as you can and don't fall in the holes. And then they're gonna go here, press this button, grab this key, and save and quit. Saving and quitting in this game is very good, and it's spammed quite a lot. In this case it saves all the backtracking to the entrance. In other dungeons, in about an hour or maybe more, it's gonna save even keys, so it's quite an important technique. You can open that with start and select, and then select the second option and soft reset by pressing A, B, start and select. Sagaz is the first to get the sword, and he's gonna make his way back to the village. So the village has a random season every time you enter. You don't want to get... Okay, he didn't get it. If you have winter, there are snow piles in some areas that make it a lot slower to move around, because you can't go through a specific screen, which is coming right up, this one, because it's covered in snow. Any other season is better than winter for that. This is gonna matter for 2 more moments in the run, probably. I don't know if it's gonna matter for any other moment, but yeah, we don't really have to worry about winter too much, except for now and one extra place. Okay, so the Mako tree here, inferior Mako tree, not the better one from Ages, drops the null key. This opens dungeon 1, which is coming right up. Sagaz is going right there. You're gonna see a lot of similarities from a certain game in the series. You go through a bridge to the west, and on this island there's a tree which leads to a dungeon. A dungeon which is shaped like an eagle, because this is basically Dungeon 1 from Legend of Zelda for the NES. This game started as a remake of that game, so there are a lot of similar points, mainly the bosses, a few rooms that are basically the same. If you go up in that intersection, you actually get an old man you can talk to, so whatever. Sagaz is gonna be killing a lot of enemies here. This is to set up for a manip after this dungeon. I don't know if Black is gonna also do that. Probably not. We'll see. No, he's not. Okay. Sagaz is actually the one that came up with this manip, and it has shown a lot of potential in saving time in later parts of the run. We'll see it a little bit later. For now, they have to take this minecart, which is really slow, and go here for a chest which contains 3 bombs. Oh, also, they are technically, well, they are usually not concerned about that, but getting 10 rupees is mandatory to finish the run. This is usually done through a manip. Different manips in this case, since Sagaz prepared for another one, which also gives him 10 rupees. But it's not gonna be a problem here because he already has 10, and Black is nearing that as well. So damage boosting through that. Sagaz is not gonna take the fairy. This can be really bad, and he almost gets hit. But easy mid boss. Just focus on one of them, and if one dies, both die. Let's see if Black has a better fight. Not quite. You can corner one of the Gorilla brothers and just wait on him. Oh, and you saw Sagaz unequip the bombs on the transition here. Most transitions have a period that doesn't let you do anything, but you can open the menu and do equips. In this case, you can unequip bombs, so the satchel equips automatically when you get it. And both are gonna take the warp and go to this room to get the boss key. And now Sagaz is gonna do a hard reset. And set up for a manip. We can't really hear him, but he's trying to listen for a specific noise from the sword, which is gonna give him one specific pattern here that repeats through all of the dungeon. So RNG manip in the Oracle's games, it advances by, or the RNG value in general advances through very specific actions. Mainly the times you swing the sword, which can be predicted, and enemy movements, which can also be kind of predicted, as in if you move perfectly, it will always be the same RNG. This is a little hard for some enemies, like Kisses, that roll RNG basically every frame. But for this dungeon, it's quite easy. They both get a manip. It makes the boss not charge and saves a lot of time. Shoutouts to Aquamentus. So Sagaz gets the first essence here, and he's gonna have a little difference from what Black has to do, so he may catch up for now. But Sagaz is gonna go here, and Maple is in the screen. So he's gonna try to get Maple on a specific place. That was a really weird setup, but I guess it works. I guess he's gonna get the ring from Maple. That ring, if everything went right, is power ring level 2. I have no idea why Black got the 100 rupees there, but okay. That's weird. Whatever. Sagaz now has the power ring level 2, but he has to go appraise it. And he's not gonna do that for now. Okay. I don't know this manip. I'm not familiar with what Black is doing, so we'll see what ring he got. I'm gonna guess life ring, but whatever. Sagaz goes to eastern suburbs, in which we find our favorite subversion, Rosa, and we have to play hide and seek with her. Black is gonna go and appraise the ring he has just got. Okay, it's her ring. There's another money for her ring, so I'm not familiar with that one. Sagaz is manipulating Rosa's patterns here. She has a few different patterns that can be worse depending on if you get lucky. But in this case, he's on a perfect manip, so every pattern will be great for him, including this one. Shadows to Subversions having very bad eyesight. Now, the purpose of continuing the manip here is mainly for Dungeon 2, for a specific room that is very RNG heavy. And hopefully they will carry it all the way forward. It also makes it so moblins are not on the way. So that's right. Her ring, since I didn't really explain it, just gives you health for every, I think, 30 steps is half hard. I don't know. It just regenerates your health as you go, so you don't have to stop for hard drops. And that's a little faster most of the time. But it's also a little time consuming to get. It's just a safety. It's not proven to be faster. It's not like Power Ring. Power Ring, on the other hand, makes it so you do a lot more damage, but also take more damage, so it's kind of risky to have all the time. But it also makes some fights really fast. And both went to Subversion now. This is the underground part of Holodrum. It also has the Temple of Seasons, which sang here, and both have to go and get the Rod of Seasons. Normally the game would expect you to do the minigame of Subversion Dancing to get the boomerang to hit that switch, but you can just throw a bomb there. No need to dance. And in addition to the Rod, they're gonna get the first season, that being Winter. Winter makes it so trees don't have leaves and you can walk past them. Also adds some snow piles that sometimes matter and sometimes don't. But the thing is that we actually need Winter for two things now. One is to get to the aptly named Woods of Winter, and the other is to get the shovel in that place. Also to get to Dungeon 2, I guess. Black is gonna get Winter in just a second. Meanwhile, Sagaz is still going, and I'm gonna guess that he's still on manip. If we see some sword slashes, he's still in manip. Yep. Okay, so using the screen transition here, he's gonna equip the rod and unequip so he can have shovel. The way the Rod of Seasons works is that you get on these 3 stamps and swing it to change the season. It depends on how many seasons you have, but right now they only have Winter, so they can only swing it once to make it Winter. And now, if the manip is right, no enemies will be in the way for Sagaz. And it is right. He's gonna go through this chimney and act as a Santa Link and get a shovel for his travels. Now he's gonna dig 3 times. That's just to set up the money for this. Moblin Road, which is the aptly named place here, is kind of scary because the moblins do a lot of damage and can block you, but when you are on money it doesn't really matter, you just go through. And here they are gonna get the second seed. Mystery seeds, they are not really useful, but they are needed for one specific item way later on. Okay, Sagaz going to this place just to get this key here. Still in Manip, the ropes were in really good positions to clear that room really fast. And now he's gonna listen to a specific pattern and go up. And if everything is right, these guys are on perfect places to push them. Now he can equip bombs, throw a bomb there, and kill both moblins. And that's the many pants. Black also seems to be on Manip, which is nice. But for now, Sagaz has the upper hand and goes to the second part of the dungeon. No, Black is not on Manip. At least it doesn't look like it, but whatever. Sagaz is entering the bomb room. This room is timed. You have to go to the center as fast as possible or the chest despawns. You can also run out of bombs, and that's bad. But it's not that hard. And he's gonna save and quit. I'm pretty sure that's not faster, but sure. Saving and quitting puts you in the dungeon entrance, because save points in this game are kind of weird. Sometimes caves act as save points, sometimes they don't. This is one of the cases in which it doesn't really work to save and warp. Okay, Black having a little trouble equipping that ring, but it works. Just move between the subscreens in the menu with select. Now Sagaz is gonna go to the first proper 2D place of the game. We already had the seed satchel screen, but this is the actual, or an actual room that is 2D. There are many of those on the whole game. Practically one in every dungeon, but I can't say that for sure, so whatever. And now we're gonna have the mid-boss of Dungeon 2, Facade. In the Japanese version, this boss doesn't really work, because his hitbox is on the center, even if he's not there. So you can just throw 5 bombs at the center, and he dies. Like that. Black taking a lot of hits, but he has the hard ring, so hits don't really matter. And now for the last part of Dungeon 2 for Sagaz. He's gonna go to this room and open this, just so the spinner is in a specific position that he can use. Yes, the hard ring gives you hearts as you walk. It's just that. So Black doesn't have a problem with taking hits. Now little detour for Sagaz getting the boss key. And now he can actually go to the second boss, which is also from Zelda 1. Even if it's a familiar face. It's the Longo. It was a little different. You wait for him, throw a bomb in his mouth, grab him and throw him in the pit. Not the pit, the spikes, but point stands. You can do this pretty fast for the 2 first hits, but then he charges. You want to make him charge into the wall, because it makes him turn around faster. And fourth hit is basically the same. And he's dead. Pretty good dungeon 2 for Sagaz. Black a little behind. Oh wait, Black is doing a weird route. You can actually just go to the right instead of going down and bombing the wall open. People say it's a little faster, but it's not that worth it. It's not a big difference, so it doesn't really matter. Sagaz is gonna go here, change to winter. They don't have the flippers yet, so winter is mandatory here because this lake has to be frozen. And now Sagaz is gonna go to the ring shop, get his ring box level 1 and also the power ring. You get 1 free ring appraisal, so it's always nice to use it if you know the RNG to get some rings. Also, he visited the tree there, mainly to work there with Gale Seeds, wherever we have them. It's not gonna come into play until past Dungeon 4. But now he has the actual ring. Power ring is gonna make a lot of bosses really fast, but it also makes him take a lot of damage, so he wants to unequip it sometimes. And now, with the bracelet, we can go here, to the Holodron plane. I'm pretty sure it's called that. Depends on the source, but whatever. Oh, he's getting bodied by enemies. Lost a lot of health there. He's gonna get Senseeds here. That is important to warp, but Senseeds are not that useful. They are technically not required to finish the game, but they are useful for Goma on Dungeon 4. So not getting them is kind of bad. And this is Blaino. Bye Blaino. Blaino is gonna give us boxing gloves. They are not his boxing gloves, but they are from Ricky. He stole them for some reason. He wanted extra gloves, I guess. So we have to go and give those gloves to Ricky. Ricky's gonna give us his flute, and it makes this his official, let's call it choice, because it's technically a choice, but whatever. You can choose between 3 different animal companions in this game: Moosh, Dimitri, or Ricky. Ricky is the fastest just because he's right here in the way. You don't have to do anything weird. The other ones require a lot of extra things, so they are not faster. And talk about fast. These are Pegasus seeds. They allow Link to go fast, so they are pretty good. You want to have seeds active as much as possible, but they are a limited resource. So you have to know where to use seeds, or on where to save them, or on where to get extra seeds, of course. In this case, the seed route starts here. You need the seeds to cross that bridge, or else it falls in your feet. And Sagaz is gonna use an ecstasy here, just to clear this room as fast as possible. And he's probably not gonna use one here. Yeah. One of the biggest parts of this run, and both Oracle games really, is knowing when to use your Pegasus seeds and when to refill them. So in that case, that room was not optimal to use a seed on, and Sagaz knows that. So they got the floodgate key, and that makes it so you can drain this. It opens the way to Dungeon 3, but you can't really get there. Instead, we have to get a little detour. First, change this to winter. Pretty important for another thing. And now we're gonna need the help of Ricky again, because there's no way to get past this. Ricky sucks. His movement is not the best. He moves kind of slow. He can do that at least, and Sagaz knows the strat apparently. So Ricky can punch, Ricky can destroy snow piles, which is useful coming here. His punches are also powerful as bombs, so you can open that. and get the square jewel, useful for Dungeon 6 in about an hour, probably less, but whatever. And now we can say goodbye to Ricky for now and go to the second portal into Russia, coming into a pretty RNG section. Both runners will have to dig up the star ore, which can be in any of the 4 screens here. Sagaz gets second try. That's pretty nice because he can use this seed to go and get to the shop here. The shopkeeper lets us trade the bow here for the star ore. And the bow is pretty important. First of all, if you thought that you couldn't have a bow here because we can shoot seeds, you're wrong. There's a bow in the Oracles games, but the bow is only useful for this. Now that we have given the bow to Rosa, we can take her on a date. A romantic date to get an extra season. Rosa has the skeleton key, which can open any locked door. This is pretty useful because there are 3 locked doors, technically 4, counting the extra one that we don't really visit. But she's useful for that. And thanks to her miraculous key, we can go here. Black got first try, by the way. That's gonna be a little time save over Sagaz. And the last stop for the date, or second to last stop really, we still have to go back, is this Summer Fiery Passion. We now have summer. In summer, some lakes will dry and reveal extra things, but also the cliffs that would be normally inaccessible grow vines, and you can use that to climb up. That's useful to get to Dungeon 3 and other places, but for now only that. And now for the last part of the date, we're gonna escort Rosa to the portal and ditch her. Never see her again, never call her again. Not that you could, there are no telephones in Russia. But that's the romantic date. And now we have another romantic date with Ricky. Nice jump punch. Sagaz knows the strats. Black gets Summer as well, and he's gonna go and ditch Rose as well. But Sagaz has a lot of advantage coming into Dungeon 3, which is right here. So for now he has a pretty sustainable lead. So spiky beetles. Normally the game would tell you that you need a shield for this, but not really. You can just spam the shovel and they flip over. It's a little known fact that you don't really know about until you start running this or see a run of it, but whatever. I know I learned about it when I started learning seasons or ages. What is it, seasons or ages? Do we have spiky beetles in ages? I'm gonna guess yes. I don't remember that. Whatever. Sagaz is doing something called Hands Manip. In this game, floor masters appear ahead of where you're going, so you can easily predict and see where they're coming from. You can use that for to manip them and never have them in your way. He failed it at the end, so he had to go for the backup, which is just equip your sword and kill them. He will have another try at that, since they have to go through that room again. And here's a pretty neat start. You push the block as you open the hole, and then you can just fall in the hole and respawn there. Dungeon 3 is Poison's Moth Lair, and it has the second best item in the game, which is Rock's Feather, which is only bested by Rock's Cape, the better version of the feather. The Rock's Feather is something that allows you to jump, and that's nice because Link couldn't jump before this. This is not Breath of the Wild, but technically in LADX you have it, so I didn't say anything. Never mind, it's here. Sagaz is just gonna spam there and make the mimics come to him, and this is the feather. Normally this feather only allows you to jump 1 tile gaps. You can technically jump 2 tile gaps if you do it in a specific manner, which is doing it in between the tiles. And if you use it in conjunction with the best seeds, you can also jump 2 or even 3 blocks at a time. So this is gonna try to go for that. You can land on the thumb and jump on the very next frame, but it's kind of hard. And now we get to push a trampoline. Mighty made a pretty good point that the bad guys in this game actually have a lot of fun because they have trampolines in their dungeons. I wouldn't say that, because that trampoline doesn't really lead to fun, it just leads to a chest and also an enemy. Vlack gets his feather. Ooh, I just realized. Vlack is Sagaz falling there. Kisses are really unpredictable, so in these 2 sections they can do that. Vlack is an LADX player, so of course he has feather on B and sword on A. That triggers me a lot. He's gonna go for a jump. He gets it but doesn't really go anywhere. And now Sagaz is gonna go for Huntsman Eve round 2. Moving in a very specific way, so the hands appear in specific places and don't bother him. And it seems like he's gotten it. Yep, nice. He can move on to the mid boss of Dungeon 3. Oh my. He has the power ring, which I don't know if he equipped because that was pretty fast, but whatever. With power ring, these guys just take 2 hits. You need to have the bracelet, pull them out of the water and just hit them. The normal start would be 4 hits. With power ring you can just 2 hit them, which is pretty fast. Still looks like he had a lot of problems hitting them, so that's unfortunate. That opens the stair for the last part of the dungeon. He's gonna go to the far west and get the boss key there, and then go to Mothula, the first non-Zelda 1 boss of this game. That is still not really original. There's one original boss. Mothula is technically a Link to the Past boss. Vlack going for Huntsman Eve as well. So far it looks pretty good. He messed up. That's okay. He's taking a lot of time just to clear that. So Mothula has pits. If you fall down in a pit, her health resets, and that's bad. Fortunately, with Power Ring you can just kill her that fast, and that's pretty nice. That's third essence, not season. I was about to say season. Oh, and Vlack is about to die to Omwai. Never mind, he has the hard ring, Cheetor's ring. But he's having a lot of trouble killing them. Normally you want to get at least 2 slashes before they start just walking. If you miss one of these slashes, you can just charge a spin slash and kill them. Oh, level 1 sword, or level 2 sword rather. We're gonna get that, so don't worry about that. You will have a complete tutorial on how to get to level 2 sword. Vlack is coming to the boss key and the Mothula. Meanwhile, Sagaz is gonna go to the not dungeon 4 area, but the animal area, Natsu. Where is he? Oh, you can just go to here, right? I forgot that's the thing. So this area is completely different depending on what animal you get. In this case, Ricky's area is kind of slow, but getting Ricky is also not slow, so of course we do that. These shoes, are they shoes? Oh, nice. I was just about to say that. These kind of shoes drop seeds a lot of the time, so we want at least one pair of seed drop there. And it's pretty nice because he got 2. Not that it matters, it would have been the same number of seeds at the end. And pretty nice Mothula for Black. He's gonna get his third essence. A little bit behind still. While Sagaz is gonna go and get to the Sunken City area. Sunken City is, as the name suggests, flooded. There's water everywhere, so of course we're gonna learn how to swim. It also has one pretty useful item, that being the Gale Seeds. Gale Seeds allow you to warp to different trees, and that's nice. It also has some kid bullies that are bullying Dimitri, and to make them go away, we give them all of our bombs, which is not a good idea, giving explosives to a child, but sure, why not? So with Dimitri we can go up the waterfall and go through here first. You're supposed to hit all of these at the same time, but you can just slash one and then charge the spin slash. It counts as the same slash. And that gives you the Master's Plaque, which I don't know why it was lost, because the Master is right here. And if he's such a Master, he should be able to just go there, but whatever. The Master Diver is gonna give us the Zora Flippers. And now we can actually swim. Black also got the extra seat here, so that's nice. And he gets that. And through the power of swimming, we can get to this tunnel and go to Mount Kuko, the Dungeon 4 area. Now, before going to Dungeon 4, there's a lot of things that have to be done. The first being getting another season. Because in order to get Mush, to get the key to Dungeon 4, it has to be spring. So we're gonna go and take a little spring break and go here. But, whoops. Two subversions decide to just steal our shovel and give us the best weapon in the game in exchange. Full sword deals a lot of damage, and if you ever played Rando, you're gonna see why it's useful. Unfortunately, we can't keep that because we need the feather, and so we have to play hide and seek for them. Sagaz draws a G for some reason. And he's just gonna stay here because no subversions go here, so they can't really see you. Okay, so funny thing, this section is stupidly easy. As long as you know where they are going, they always do the same thing. so you can just entertain yourself starting around, which can be, yep, it can be risky because the fire pokey appears, but Sagaz has the best weapon in the game, so why bother? And now for the last thing to do in this place, which is just avoiding these guys in this screen. And then they go down and bury the feather in a completely random place. Where is it? You would never be able to tell. And you get it back. So that's a nice detour. About 4 minutes of doing absolutely nothing just to get back the feather. And now with the feather... Oh, I thought he was going into the lava as he was transitioning the screen. That's weird. With the feather we can go through this cave and go to get the Spirit of Spring. Since someone is asking, technically this game is more accessible than Oracle of Ages, but also it's the worst of the two Oracle's games. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. So please start with Oracle of Ages. Alright, save and quit from Sagaz. Just to quickly get out. And now to go back. There's a pixel perfect jump here that he doesn't get. It's really tricky. You have to jump on the edge of the platform and also on the edge of the rock there. Flag not going to the corner. The audacity. Also Sagaz opened that by lifting one rock. That's pretty important for a shortcut we have to take later for Dungeon 7. And now we're gonna do some melee DX strats and clip into the wall and grab that. Wall clips are not that broken here, but they exist and they allow you to grab that Kuko from the other side. Now Sagaz is gonna go here just to get the banana, because we need the banana for something really important. Mush. He also sliced a few things just to get a bomb. Since getting Dimitri made it so we don't have any bombs right now, but we need bombs for Dungeon 4. So getting a bomb drop is pretty important. There's also a chest in Dungeon 4 in case you don't really get it. And now he's gonna get on this shooty happy flower, as someone said, and enter this. This is gonna set the next warp point for a save and quit to there, and that's gonna make something really fast, which is going here. The key to Dungeon 4 is right here. You need Mush to get it. There's no way to go around that. And now he's gonna save and quit. And he's here. The entrance to Dungeon 4 is right here, but it's behind the waterfall and we need to start the waterfall. And for that, he's gonna change the season to winter and go to that cave. And we're gonna see another instance of a Kuko, the second Kuko and last Kuko of the game, to get to the keyhole for Dungeon 4. Curiously, of the 3 different keys that open a dungeon, 2 of them are used to make it so there's no water, so that's nice. Also shoutouts to LADX again, because this also happens there. And now change it to summer, and that makes a vine grow, and that's Dungeon 4. Dancing Dragon Dungeon, which is a little bit of a tongue twister sometimes because 3Ds are a little hard to to say sometimes. But whatever. It's the first truly difficult dungeon of the game. A lot of things can go wrong, and hopefully nothing will go wrong. As I say that Sagaz has half a heart, and so... oof. So here's a puzzle in Oracle of Seasons, which is a rare sight, and also it's really stupid and really bad. It's just move pods. Oh right, and this dungeon also has the best music in the game that we can really hear right now, because Vlack is the one with audio and he's low. So it's gonna go to the minecart again. There's one key at the edge of this part of the dungeon, and it's a key that we need. Dungeon 4 has a lot of keys, so forgetting any of them is really bad. But I've never seen someone actually forget this key. Also, Sagaz has to be really careful. Oh, okay, he has a potion now. The powering manip also gives you an extra potion, so that's nice. And he's gonna try to get through this to go to the Mega Man room. Did you know that this game was made by Capcom? They are good at making music, and they are also good at making platforms that disappear. And now he has the key. He can save, quit, and go through the other door. Swimming is low, by the way, so he's gonna stop here, take a jump, and here's the diagonal jump that is not hard. He quit the powering because there's a room coming up with legs, and legs take 3 hits normally, so this is gonna help a lot. Also, don't slash randomly in this place, because that switch there is really bad in its detection, and if you swing down, it actually gets hit. Pro tip. Like so. Thank you for showing it, Sagaz. And good thing about this dungeon is that it also has these 2 pots that have pest seeds. It's the first official refill, I think, of the entire game. Sometimes you get random seed drops, and that's nice. But there are a few places that have guaranteed seeds. In Dungeon 7 it's gonna become really important. In this dungeon it's just, hey, there are seeds there. That's pretty nice. And now we're gonna go and see another boss that is not technically original. Agunima. Not Aghanim, Agunima. You have to light these 2 torches, also not original. And just slash the one that has a shadow. It's 3 slashes, or 3 spin slashes, plus 1 normal slash, but with the power ring you can actually make it in only 3. Also, I don't know why Vlack is failing this. Oh, because he's using a seed. You don't need to use a seed for this, Vlack. Come on. It's actually harder with a seed. Oops. Whatever, Sagaz is gonna go to this room, which contains the dungeon item, that being the slingshot. The slingshot lets you shoot seeds, and it's not as good as the seed shooter in Ages, which can also shoot them diagonally. So that's the thing that happens. Vlack giving up on his dreams of clearing this with the Pegasus seed. Okay, pretty important part of routing this dungeon. Minecarts stay in place as long as you don't save and quit. So it's important that you get to this minecart, because doing this to spawn a chest to get an extra key can only be done if the minecart is there, or else you have to go all the way around, and that's really slow. Ooh, Vlack failing that. Probably because he got hit. And getting it in the second try. Easy. Should 2 seeds to that. To change that. And we'll see if Sagaz gets the dump jump. It's a diagonal jump here. That can be really tricky. Apparently he knows how to buffer it. And that's pretty nice. If there's a keys in the way, that jump is really hard. Basically impossible. So sometimes it's better to just go around. All that's done just to get the boss key. And then there's a last key here, which is the chest with spawn. A lot of people forget about this, and that's really bad. But that's all the keys you need. He's gonna equip Gale Seeds with the shooter. Gale Seeds are actually amazing because they one-shot enemies, as in they make them disappear entirely from the map. So that's gonna be useful for this room in particular. Whiz ropes. Oh, he also can do that apparently, so that was nice RNG. Shoutouts to Power Ring. And coming up is a 3-tile horizontal jump. He used the whistle for an extra boost there, so that's nice. And now he's trying to not get hit by the keys on his way to the Dungeon 4 boss, Goma. There are 2 ways to beat Goma. The first one is breaking her claw, but that's bad. It makes her go really erratic. The other one is there's one specific pixel which you can shoot her eye through the claw, and that's what Sagaz is doing, and it's the fastest way. Only Sand Seeds and Ember Seeds work on her, so you have limited ammo, but that was basically a perfect fight. 4 sessions. Sagaz is quite far ahead in the lead. I would say about 4 minutes right now. Now he's gonna go to the very corner, I guess we can call it that, of this place, because there's a hidden passage that leads to the pyramid jewel, the jewel we need. And he's gonna equip the Gale Seeds because he needs to warp to another tree right after this. Now, Dungeon 5 doesn't actually require the seed shooter, so you can technically finish it before Dungeon 4, as long as you get the flippers first. And it's technically faster to do that for Essence races. I don't know where Black is going, but apparently he forgot how to do that. Whatever. Dungeon 5 is right here, but you actually need to take a little detour and get the last season fall to enter it. There we go, Black actually remembers this now, and we'll see if he actually gets the jump. Meanwhile, Sagaz is in the furnace part of Subversia. A pretty fun section. You get a lot of cool jumps. All of that to get this, the flower bomb. Flower bomb is used for exactly one thing, and that is opening the way to the fall tower, which is conveniently right around here. So Sagaz is gonna go right there. Flag didn't forget any keys here, so that's nice. He's gonna talk to these guys. They place the bomb, and now the way to the fall spirit is open. Black not having the benefits of Power Ring, he has to do this as normal, which is 3 seeds. Now that Sagaz has full, which by the way makes it so specific mushrooms that are stone in other seasons just ripe and you can pick them up, and also covers some holes with leaves. He's gonna go to the same portal he enters to, mainly because it's the one closest to Dungeon 5, so that's convenient. Gamma complicates a little bit for Black. He gets grabbed as well. He had to change to Ember Seeds, which is never a good time. At least he gets to it. Now these mushrooms are kind of weird. You're gonna see Sagaz, or you saw already, Sagaz throw them off screen. That's because you can only pick one of them up at the same time, and you have to wait for them to have a little animation in which they despawn. But you can throw them off screen and that cancels that. It's only useful here really. Dungeon 5 is a little slow. It looks slow, it's pretty fast, but most of it is just going through minecarts, so of course it looks really slow. But it also contains one of the nicest items in the whole franchise, the Magnet Glove. And the first part of the dungeon is just going to that Magnet Glove. The Magnet Glove is right here. You have to push these blocks and hopefully the pig hat won't troll damage. It trolled a little bit, but it was bearable. And here it is. Magnet Glove is a pretty nice item that changes priority from north to south and attracts or repels items. Technically, all the static items that you have to get to, like this block, are south, while the balls that move are north. So that's easy to remember. And here's a little swag jump. There's one frame in which you can jump after releasing the glove, but you can also buffer it. Okay, coming to this room, which can be a little bad sometimes, but it was okay. Here's the armor room. Sagaz is gonna be able to kill them in one go. You're supposed to kill them in a specific order, then remember that order and open the chest in that order to get this key. If not, the armors turn into antiferries and you have to exit the room and re-enter. And now for the last key collection part. Sagaz is also gonna try to get some hard drops apparently. And he has to kill this guy, make that ball appear, and he can save and quit as soon as it's on screen already. And there's one final key to get. After that, it's time to actually clear the dungeon. Go to the mid-boss, Sagaz, and then get the boss key and go to the boss. But first, these moving blocks are really weird. When you detach from them, you can walk for a little while, so you can use that to just jump and don't really care about any type of pits that are in your way. Oh, Sagaz dropping really low, thanks to that gel being in the way. Also Power Ring, because Power Ring gives him half a heart of damage for every single hit. So that's pretty bad. However, having this ring will make this mid-boss here completely trivial. Oh, never mind. Yeah, that was a little risky, but it happens sometimes. Sagaz is a boss that can kill you sometimes. Pretty simple mid-boss really. Oh, synchronized minecart riding, but not really, because Sagaz is basically half a dungeon ahead. Thing is, Sagaz has a tail here. You have to hit that a few times until he dies. It's not a hard mid-boss, and it's completely trivial, as you can see, if you have Power Ring and don't get hit. But sometimes he can complicate. He has a lot of specific patterns that can mess you up. Now for this room, you're supposed to go around, get a ball, and put the ball in between you and the flames, but you can just jump through it if you have a specific angle and a seat. And here's the boss key. We are nearing the end of the Dungeon 5. It's time for the most annoying boss, or second most annoying, depending on who you ask. Digdogger. Digdogger is kind of weird. You have to hit him with the spike ball, I guess we can call that. Shout outs to that little block clip that apparently Black didn't know about. And Sagaz getting trolled by the keys. That's okay. So you have to move this spike ball to hit Digdogger 4 times. That makes him split into 5 mini Digdoggers. If you are good enough and have a good enough pattern, you can kill them in 1 cycle, and that's fast. And I think he got it. Yep. Nice. If not, he reforms and you have to go again, basically, and that's bad. But that's 5 essences. Sagaz is very much in the lead. Black still has to do most of Dungeon 5. Now, Dungeon 6 needs the 4 jewels. We already saw 2 of them. There are still 2 in the wild, so Sagaz is gonna go and get those. Of course, the jewels have a hidden meaning. We'll see if everybody in chat catches it, but it's pretty obvious because Capcom are just like that. And when Nintendo said, "Hey, can you make a game for us?" they snuck a little Easter egg that is kind of obvious. You'll see why. First one is here. This old man gives you the jewel when you beat Dungeon 5, so you can't really get it until now. And the last jewel, the X jewel, is on the beach. He's gonna equip the Mr. Seeds, and we're gonna see the only time you actually need them, because we have to face the hardest boss in the game, the Black Beast, living in the southern island. Mr. Seeds have a random effect between the other 4 seeds, so you can just shoot them and hope they have Ember Seeds. And here it is, the Black Beast. Blink and you'll miss it. With that, that's 4 jewels. He's gonna go to the Pegasus 3 seed and go 1 screen down, because that gives you more seeds. Okay, so can someone tell me what's the hidden meaning in these jewels? Yeah, that. Shout outs to Capcom for being that snarky. Sagaz enters the Time Ruin section of the run. In here you need all the seasons to do a lot of stuff. You don't really need Spring to advance, but you need it to enter Dungeon 6, so that's important. First step is changing to Summer. Then changing to Winter after moving that statue. That makes this snow pile appear here. And now he's gonna move the armors in the center and change to Fall because there are a few mushrooms coming up. Now, here's a little thing that you're not gonna notice unless I say it. It's that this part has a little secret in which the entire game has a really big and long trading sequence in which you trade an item for another item for about half of it. At the end you get a phonograph, or whatever it's called, and show it to Adeku in this part that teaches you how to get to the dungeon. No, he tells you how to get to dungeon 6 normally, but he also tells you how to get this noble sword, which is basically just change all the seasons from coldest to hottest and go left. And to get to dungeon 6 you do the same, except you go counterclockwise starting from the left. Also the dogger from Black having a little bit of trouble. It's not a fight that you get used to easily, so of course he doesn't have as much experience of it. Can't blame him. So Sagaz does all the things I just said and gets to the last part of Time Ruins. All while Black is finishing Dungeon 5. Took a little while. He's basically 5 minutes ahead, I think, which is kind of bad. Oh well. You have to change to Winter to get here, just because these statues are in the way, and you need this statue to not be in the way in order to shoot upwards, like so. Now with that, Sagaz is gonna enter Dungeon 6, Ancient Ruins. But first we have a small cutscene of someone with the Cane of Birna. Shout out to that. We don't know who that someone is, and we'll know at the end of the run. But whatever. Ancient Ruins. Ancient Ruins is basically one huge tower, and it's my favorite dungeon. It's pretty nice, but it's also kind of hard at the start. And the first floor is very open and labyrinthic and weird, but then it gets a lot better. First order of the day is just going here. There's a small key here, hidden behind a small puzzle that we have to clear, moving this ball there, making sure it doesn't fall in the hole, and just pushing it here, and oh, I think it fell. Did I jinxed it. I don't believe that. Really? It's gone, Sagaz, it's gone. Alright. I don't think I've ever seen that happen to someone. So shout out to that. And Black going into the Black Beast as well, beating it without any problem. And now he can go to Time Ruins himself. Now that Sagaz is done with the hardest boss of the game, the ballroom, he can go and do one of the hardest tricks, or jumps rather, of the game. You are technically not supposed to be able to jump 3 tiles, but you can just barely do it with seeds. So he did that. Oh, fails the bomb. This is a pretty unfortunate dungeon 6 so far for Sagaz. Feels bad. And here are some spiky beetles. He's gonna take care of them. You can also shoot seeds at them and insta-kill them. That's my strat. Copyrighted. And he's gonna go here to this room, which contains the dungeon item. Another really good item, which is, come on, magic boomerang. This boomerang not also kills all the armors here, which is pretty nice. It can also be controlled by Link's mind. So you hold down the button and move it. Oh yeah, someone actually called Blue Lionel commented on that. Yes, this is the last time. I don't know if there are some incidents, but whatever. This is the last time that any type of Lionel was in a Zelda game until Breath of the Wild. Not also normal Lionels, also Blue Lionels and Gold Lionels. There's one Gold Lionel. Vlack gets his level 2 sword. One thing that I didn't talk about level 2 sword, and it's one of the reasons it's faster to get, it can destroy pots without having to equip the bracelet. So that's always nice. Oh right, there are Lionels in Unlimited Walls. I don't know why I didn't remember that, considering that it's my main speed game. So whoops. Sagaz learning the hard truth that using a seed for this room is not the best idea. So here's the pot part that I talked about. There's a free seed there, and also a fairy that we didn't see because it got grabbed directly. And here's a trap room, commonly known as the Indiana Jones room. You need 2 seeds to get through it without getting crushed. All to get the boss key, conveniently in the way, because you can just go right in. And for this room, kill all the Salfos and move this block. We're approaching one of the most annoying mid bosses of the game, of both games actually, because it's also in Oracle of Ages, except we can manipulate him there. That being Bayer. Bayer is also a callback to Zelda 1, because there's an enemy that functions basically like him, except not as annoying, and the sprite is basically the same as in as in LADX. Whatever. He can charge you. He can also spin around like an idiot, like he's doing right now. But you can barely hit him if you know what you're doing, which Sagaz is apparently known for. So that was pretty easy. He's also about to die, which is not nice. He's trying to get the fairy and almost gets killed in the process. It's not a Vigor sword, by the way. Someone talked about that. There's actually a Vigor sword in this game. Oh, shout out to this room, 50-50. He gets it first try. So, one pretty funny thing about both Oracle games is that they have a lot of things taken right out from Ocarina of Time, including many items: Vigor sword, Master sword, the mirror shield as well. And you can't get most of them unless you do a linked playthrough, which means finishing one of the games, then getting the password for it and introducing it to start the game on the other one. We're not gonna see any of them in this run. We get the level 2 sword, but it's something normal, it's vanilla. And coming right up for Sagaz, what is, in my opinion, the worst boss of the game, Manhandler. So Manhandler has 4 different mouths that he can open. All of them have 3 health, or 3 whatever the boomerang does. And you want to keep them all at the same health, because every head you destroy makes him go faster. You can only hit those heads with the boomerang, and it's sometimes really tricky because you have to be on the opposite side of him to open a mouth. But the fight was pretty much perfect, so I didn't need to say anything. That's gonna be the 6th essence for Sagaz. And it's time to go to the actual hard part of the run. Dungeon 7 and Dungeon 8 are significantly harder and longer, and they also take a long time to get through. To get to, not through, but also that. So Sagaz is gonna go to the... well, first to replenish his seeds, of course. That's also important to do. These seeds make you go fast, so why wouldn't you? He's gonna go here, because the magic boomerang only opened one thing, and it's this. This portal leads to the pirate area of Subversia. You can technically access it from Mount Kuko, as long as you can jump, but we don't really do that, it's not faster. So the pirate captain says, hey, we want to go and sail, but we can't do that. Mainly because the ship is stuck between Holodrum and Subversia, but also because they don't have their trusty bell, and we have to go get that bell. So to get that bell, we have to go to Samasa Desert, which has another pirate blocking it. That doesn't really go away until you talk to the captain. And this door has a specific combination for it. It's easy. 2 on the 3rd, 1 on the 2nd, 2 on the 1st, and 3 on the 4th. Now, there are 4 different spots in this desert that can have the bell. They are the sand pits that you see. There are 4 specific ones that can have the bell, but in order to know which one it is and to actually get the bell, you need to carry this skull. When you get through one of the pits that contain the thing that we're looking for, the skull gets extracted. And it looks like it's 4th try for Sagaz, so that's pretty bad. He had to go through all of the desert just for that, so that's low. That bell is actually rusty, and that's bad. We have to go polish it before we go and get our pirate event to run. And for that we have to go to the smithy in Subversia. The fastest way to do that is through here, on the Rosa portal. And Black looks like he's having... okay, 3rd try, never mind. That room can be really bad sometimes. You just hope that it's that button, because going to the other one is slower, you have to kill everything. So you just exit the room. As I was saying, the smithy is in this part of the world, so that portal is the most convenient way to get to it. And I'm gonna copy one strat. This smithy is kind of rude and doesn't... never mind, I'm pretty slow for that. Whoops. And the smithy doesn't like people who say please. So if you select the first option, which is basically, please, can you fix this bell? He says, no, I don't like cowards. So you have to use the other option, which is basically saying, do it. Do it. As some Star Wars memes would say. Oh, and that's the shortcut that we opened a long while ago for Dungeon 4, which conveniently leads to this, the pirate area. So now Sagaz is gonna enter the longest cutscene in the game, as Black is doing this. This is the pirate cutscene. It's a cutscene that also forces you to match some text, so you can't just leave it playing and go do anything. And it takes a while, so that's pretty bad. Introduction for this amazing cutscene that we all love. I would like you to use the pirate emote in Twitch. If you have any pirate emotes, just use that, but I like using capital R and closing parentheses. That's a good pirate emote. Black is gonna go to the pirate area now, so the emotes are still kind of relevant. Meanwhile, Sagaz is gonna look at something that doesn't really make sense. Pirates getting seasick, and also getting seasick when they are dead, so they don't have stomachs, so they don't really have any way to vomit or anything, which makes no sense. But hey, at least the captain is safe. Never mind, he's also getting dizzy. These are pretty bad pirates, so they decide to just park the ship and abandon everything in this journey. And they conveniently park here to make a very nice bridge to the Dungeon 7 area. Okay, so Dungeon 7 would require you to go up and change the season to summer, but you can just barely make this jump and go to this side entrance. And this is Dungeon 7. Dungeon 7 actually has the first real skip of the run, which is nice. And also Sagaz is gonna do a manip here that I don't really know, so I can't really comment it, but basically it's gonna make most things in this dungeon go as he wants, so that's nice. And Black not getting first try, not getting second try, not getting third try. Both runners get fourth try. That's pretty lame. Okay, so first real skip of the run, which is something that I don't like to say about seasons, but because it sucks and it just has a lot more skips, but whatever. Post skip is gonna come up. So this room that Sagaz was in, all the torches are gradually going out, and if they all go out, you get sent to the start of the dungeon. You have to do something extra and use an extra key, but you can actually get just in the last second to this stair, and that keeps having to kill a post sister and doing some extra backtracking, and also saves the key, so it's pretty nice. Also, it's a really important trick to get once and then not die, because if you die you get sent back to the first room of the dungeon, and that's bad. Okay, Sagaz seems to be in manip. He's gonna do very specific things, and he's hoping for the next set of armor statues that I didn't talk about because I was busy talking about post skip, to be perfect as well and get him a few drops. But first he has to go through two kind of stupid jumps. I think he fell down for the first one. Yep. These jumps are kind of tricky, you have to maneuver in midair, but they are not that hard. He's gonna wait for a seat, and there we go. I think he failed that. Yeah, he's off money now. That's a shame. Oh, also more capital R close parentheses for black. Important. Oh, he's stealing money, never mind. Apparently? Oh no, he's doing a lot of flashes, so he's probably to advance his RNG. We'll see. So this ring of armors, okay, he's in manip, nice. This ring of armors has one of them that is a statue, and you have to move here. It's completely random, but you can manipulate like he did. It's kind of hard and it's really long, so I don't really go for that. You just hope to get a good one. Okay, so we are gonna see the second pose sister. You have to light all the torches here, and she dies in probably, okay, you can just do that with powering, and that makes it so this room here on the left doesn't go out. You can go through this like the first one. It's basically impossible to swing that fast. And now we're gonna see a pretty nice thread to get to the next part. Instead of going through more tricky jumps, you can just do this and jump up and skip a lot of stupid platforming. And now he's gonna get a specific position and buffer a jump to get here and get the rockscape, the best item in the game. Basically a feather, but better. It lets you go longer, get a second jump, and also glide a little bit, so that's nice. It's a pretty broken item. If you ever play Oracle of Seasons Rondo, if you get this, you basically open all of the world. And here's a fairy in this spot, so that's pretty nice to get. And also some extra seeds here. He didn't get the second one, but that's okay. Meanwhile, black seems to also be going for the extra manip, for Dungeon 7 manip, while Sagaz is in the mid boss, which is both pose sisters, which we only saw one, but there are two, believe me, at the same time. They are not hard. They try to blow away the torches. You can just camp two of them and kill them there. It's also a pretty important thing to get here before dying, because it opens the warp portal to get back. We'll see now if black gets the manip and if he gets pose skip as well. Meanwhile, Sagaz is gonna go and get the boss key in this corner of the dungeon. Okay, let's see black getting this while Sagaz does this. Pretty easy to tell the order of switches. Seems like black also got it, nice. So both get pose skip, that's pretty nice. And Sagaz is gonna hit these switches in specific positions and open this room. All to get the boss key and then go away. Seems like black is not only in manip but also in better manip because he got an extra seed. Again, I don't really know this manip, so I don't know the benefits of it. I'm probably missing something. Either way, Sagaz can now go to the Dungeon 7 boss, which is another Zelda 1 boss, Gleeok. Except it's way easier than the Gleeok in Zelda 1, because you can actually swing your sword at it. Also with power ring manip, it's pretty easy. Funny thing about this boss, other than it can move, it's a special attack when you break both of the heads, is stomping on the ground and stunning you. You can actually jump and avoid that, and if you do that, you can basically just wail at him and he dies. With powering manip, it looks like he can just do it and don't care about anything. But yeah, without it, it's even easier. Or You know what I mean. Whatever. I don't know how to talk right now. Sagaz is gonna go to this tree and make his way to the last dungeon of the game, Dungeon 8. Meanwhile, Black seems to be perfectly on manip. So that's nice. Dungeon 8 is here. Fun fact, you can technically get to this area without the rockscape. So you can technically access this dungeon before the others. But you also need rockscape for the actual dungeon, so oops. And here's a tricky jump coming up. You have to do an S pattern to move around that. It can be tricky, but it's not tricky for Sagaz. He's an expert. And now Dungeon 8 needs something because it can't really be accessed. So in order to access Dungeon 8, we have to destroy the entire world. In order to save it, I know. These volcanoes are gonna rain right into the area that we were in, which is temple remains. Basically where the Temple of Seasons was. Oh, Black having little problems with that. He has to use another seed. Unfortunate. Okay, so after destroying the world, we can go back to the world and save it. Logic. And now Black seems to... Oh, that's bad. Okay. He takes a lot of damage, but that's okay. He has Harrowing and gets Rockscape. Okay, now that all of the trees in this area are completely destroyed, Sagaz can put the world in somewhere and actually climb here and enter. Here are a few really tricky jumps. The other one is harder than it seems. And this one is kinda tricky as well. And this one is even trickier, but he doesn't get it. A lot of people opt not to do this jump, this last jump, because it's really tricky. And you can just go down and do it normally. So yeah. Now, after going through all of the temple remains, you enter this room. There's a mysterious portal to Subversia here, which leads to one of the corners of Subversia. And here's Dungeon 8, which apparently is not a volcano, because it's frozen. Dungeon 8 has the second and obviously last at this point, because it's the last dungeon in the game. Skip of the game. There's this HSS skip, which skips getting the Hyper Slingshot, that's the name. It's an upgraded version of the slingshot that lets you shoot 3 seeds. It's not useful at any point in the game. You technically need to finish the dungeon if you do it normally, but also you don't really do that. There's a room that needs it. We can just go past that room and not care about anything. So first, Sagaz is gonna get this key. He's gonna make a safety save. Important. And he's gonna kill that, fall in the pit to reset his subpixels, and move to a specific position here. Subpixels are basically subdivisions of pixels. Whatever. He has to get a specific frame, which is the... didn't get it. The frame in which the last pixel of Link's foot is right on the edge, or past the edge for that hole. And then throw the bomb, jump in that specific frame, and jump in on one of 2 specific frames as well. So let's see if he gets it. This is the great equalizer of this game. It's extremely hard. And that also can happen. Oops. The thing is, this trick is very important. It's very important for getting subpixels correctly. I don't know how to actually describe it, but whatever. Black gets the wrong stair. Subpixels determine a few specific interactions. One of them is where you land. There we go. Nice. One of them is where we land. So if you have a specific subpixel value, which Sagaz had because he already got that, you can just barely make it into that other ledge. Oh, Black fails to jump and can't avoid getting knocked out. And again, he forgets. But he can just wail on. Oh, he forgets again! Please don't die. Okay, it's just one. He died. Come on, who dies too? Ah, that feels so bad. The timing for Grenex tombs. Not Grenex. Is it Grenex? I guess. Okay, never mind. The timing for his tombs is pretty lenient. But apparently Black doesn't really know it. So whatever. Ghost armors, you just have to use the same path he got to this. And then you get an extra key. So didn't talk about the benefits of HSS skip, other than saving 5 minutes by skipping most of the basement of this part. And the mid boss, one of the hardest mid bosses in all of the Zelda franchise. Bipolar. It keeps getting a lot of keys. It skips a few things in this part, mainly throwing ice into one of the holes. These holes are supposed to be entrances to the actual basement. Actual basement of the dungeon, which has lava, and these rocks you can use them to solidify it and actually get to the boss. So normally you would have to do it for all 4, just to get enough keys to get to the boss. But thanks to skipping most of the dungeon, you don't really need that many keys. You can just do 3 and go to the boss. Also, Sagaz got HSS skip in a pretty nice try, I think 3rd. So he has a lot of seeds to go through this. You normally use 1 seed per try, so it can sometimes leave you without any seeds to go to the dungeon. Like my race yesterday. Black is coming up on his particular jump as well. Let's see if he has practiced the jump, because it's really tricky. Not quite. You have to start turning as you start jumping. It's kind of hard to explain. And Sagaz is carrying the last crystal or ice or whatever. You have to carry it all the way around with this minecart activated, just so you can throw it here. And he has 1 last seed, so that's nice. He can sprint right into the boss. A boss which is actually original. The first original boss in the game, including the last boss. So the first original boss of the game is Medusa Head. It's not that memorable. But hey, it's not a Zelda 1 boss, and it's not Mothula. So that's nice. Shoutouts to this game for not being a remake entirely. So Medusa Head shoots a few things. Doesn't need the dungeon item, so that's nice. Can shoot lasers, can shoot this, which petrifies you. Can shoot lasers, which we don't see right now. There it is, lasers. And can also run around you. Oh, and Sagaz is keeping the heart container after killing the boss. Brave man. Really brave, the bravest. Everybody knows that this heart container is completely mandatory, and not getting it means valid. It also doesn't really matter because you get a free health refill coming right out of the dungeon. Black having a lot of problems with this jump. Also with kisses. Kisses are the worst in this game, by the way. he has to kill them. Feels bad. And doesn't get it anyway. Come on, Black. There we go. Doesn't go for the other one. We get to see intended strats. Okay, so Sagaz now has all 8 essences. In order to get to Onyx, he has to take a little detour first, go talk to the inferior Mako tree, and get the Mako seed. The Mako seed is a kind of mystical thing that breaks the barrier going to Onyx. It's hard to explain. It's also in Ages. It basically uses all 8 essences. Don't worry about that. The important fact here is that Sagaz is going to the last place in the entire game, which is Northern Peak and Onyx Castle. And before Onyx Castle, we're gonna see this, which looks really weird at 30 FPS in this game makes some stuff not look right, like some sprites that fade in and out of existence. At whatever, there are things happening, trust me. And before that, we're gonna have a big reveal. Who is this guy? It's Twin Rova, because nothing in this game is original, and we get that from Ocarina of Time. Twin Rova is behind everything in the Oracle's games, trying to revive canon by getting the flame ? From both stages, or oracles? Yeah, oracles. Whatever. Zelda lore doesn't make sense. Sagaz is going to try to get to Onyx, while Black is trying to get his escape, and I think he got it? No, he forgot to jump, oops. Just 2 rooms here with normal enemies, and then 1 room with Facade. He has 9 bombs, so Facade is not gonna be a problem. Unlike Dungeon 2 Facade, this one has to be fought, because he spawns right away. And if you know your Facade cycles, you can just bomb him and get a fray. And with that we can go and beat Onyx. Onyx only takes damage from speed slashes, so it's important to have a good rhythm for that. He also has a lot of damaging attacks, so that's bad. You don't want to get damaged by it. Sagaz is gonna try to be as fast as possible. I don't know if he has the power ring, but yeah. And now here's an interesting strat. See, he has a power ring, okay. So normally you have to use the Rod of Seasons to make Dean go away. So you can hit him, but you can damage Dean at the same time, and that makes the hitbox hit twice. So that speeds up the fight a lot. And here's another boss that is not original, because Sigma is a thing. Shoutouts to Capcom. And this is gonna be a really fast boss, because Sagaz is a beast and he has power level, a power ring, not power levels. He can stun lock him, and that's it. Sagaz is gonna win the race with a 1:44.10 officially. It's not a PB, but it's an extremely good time, the best time we've seen so far in the tournament. So that's nice. GG's. Meanwhile, Black is still struggling with HSS skip. We're gonna see the credits in one end, with everything going to normal. While Black still feels that. And we're gonna see Twin Rova plotting behind everything and leading to linked seasons, or linked ages game rather, that we're not gonna see here. Okay, Black sees that he failed that, so he's just gonna hard reset. I don't know why he hard reset. That's a small time loss, but whatever. Hey, Sagaz. Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. If you want an interview, you can just hop in.
Hey.
Hi, Sagaz. Congrats on your win, first and foremost.
Thank you.
And congrats on the pretty good run. The best time we've had so far in the tournament. And probably one of the best we'll have. So that's amazing. So how are you feeling?
Pretty okay, I would say. Actually, I was pissed off when I died to... It was D5, because my D5 was good. And I just lost 15 seconds because I died on Tiger. First time.
Alright. Yeah, I was thinking about what is the single thing that this run didn't have a good part of. And it definitely was Dungeon 5, yeah.
Yeah, Dungeon 6 too. And what can I say? Yeah, like I gold D7 and I feel like it was a bad D7. That's weird.
I don't think it was that bad. But it could have been better, I guess. Whatever, the run was definitely really, really good. It showed a lot of good execution, let's call it that, I guess. Other than fourth try on Sagaz Desert, the RNG was kind of in your favor as well. So the run was pretty good.
It depends. Like I got really bad RNG on some place, like really bad. Actually, I think I died on D5 because RNG.
I guess so. No, whatever. Oh, Vlack got it. Nice.
Nice.
Vlack just got HSS skip. Looking at his seeds, I think it was 9th try, which is kind of bad, of course, but hey, still got it. He's now gonna get to this place and kill the boss voices with the flute. And a pretty good pattern on the kisses, so he can kill them pretty fast. Now he can continue with the rest. So, looking at the rest of the bracket, you are one of the favorites to win, I would say. You have gotten a lot of PVs lately. You are basically in the race for world record at this point, and with power ring strats, which are kind of new and not everybody has adopted them. Do you see yourself winning the tournament or placing at least top 3, top 2?
I think it's possible because when I play a game, I'm entirely focused on it. So I will be entirely focused on season and I can improve. So I think it's possible to maybe get one record one day. And yeah, I can, if I play a lot like I do these days, I think I can win the tournament, being more consistent and everything. But actually, for me, one of the favorites should be Phenomenon.
Oh, right.
Because
he's not as known, I would say, right now, because he kind of returned to the game for the tournament. But yeah, he's really, really good.
Yeah, and what I see when I saw his run is really consistent when he do his things. So that's why, for me, it's one of the favorites. Maybe it's favorite.
He's gonna have his first race on Sunday at 7 PM EDT against Giselle Saft. And you are gonna have a race against Linky for the second round, which should be next week, I guess.
Normally it's next week, yes. It's like one match per week for everybody.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, we still have Vlack trying to get through the latest part of Dungeon 8. If you have anything else to say, maybe say it now, and you can go rest, have a well-deserved rest for the win, I guess.
Thank you. I think I will say nothing else. just powering is a beast.
We'll see if he's that much of a beast. You may find him in... never mind, it would be in winners finals, so that's bad. I don't know if you'll cross. There's a lot of beasts in the way, like Bamboo or Dragon.
Depend on Bamboo, because this game needs a lot of work. If Bamboo run the game, he can like get back his skills, I would say.
Well, Bamboo basically ran the game for a month and got worse, so
yep.
I would say like he's also one of the favorites, even if he doesn't have that much practice right now.
I think he will be. He will have some practice. Maybe
Definitely.
without altering. We will see.
Ooh, the audacity. Oh yeah, I also wanted to comment on that. How do you feel about getting Hard Ring over Power Ring now that both are kind of known?
It's good. It's like it turned the game really easy, actually. Not even joking. Like you get Medusa is doing Medusa Vlack. Is so much faster with Power Ring. Leok is a joke, literally.
Yeah.
When you got good RNG on the D3 boss, you can pretty much zero cycle. And yeah, it's really good. Really good playing with the Power Ring on this game. Oh yeah.
A lot of people will still get Hard Ring, I think, just for safety.
Yeah.
Oh well. Vlack is done with Dungeon 8, by the way. He just has to get to Onyx and not die.
Just wanted to say that for Vlack is his second run. Literally second run.
Yes, I also said that he was doing his first full run. I don't think if he finished it. I think he didn't. But he was doing his first full run before the race. So that's fun.
And I think he will do sub 2 if he didn't die. If he don't die on Onyx, Dronox, sub 2 will come in.
Yeah, it's pretty much a sub 2. That's right. We'll see if he has practiced Dronox actually, because he has died in a few unexpected places like Leok. So he could still not be prepared for it, but whatever, we'll see. He still has a way to go. And he also walked to the wrong tree, so that's fun. At this point you don't really need any extra seeds since the game is basically done. So getting a refill in seeds, you can sometimes just autopilot to it and just do it without thinking, but it's not really necessary. You get extra seeds before Medusa Head just to have seeds for this.
Yeah, it's pretty much on this game you have to refill seed after D4. Yeah, after D4 it's pretty much every time you refill seeds except for enter D8 and Onyx and the castle. That's why I think it just used to I finish a dungeon, let's go grab seeds.
I'm also pretty sure that Vlack doesn't really have a concrete seed route right now.
Yeah.
Since he already started running the game way too recently. So he probably doesn't think about that too much.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Now we'll see if he does the Onyx Castle manip, because I'm pretty sure you didn't do it.
I didn't. With Power Ring, it's less. How can I say that? It's less a thing because you can one-shot those blue Wizrobe with a quick spin. So, oh, he's doing the manip, Black.
Yep, but he already failed it.
Oh,
This is probably gonna push him back into the not sub 2 territory. So that's unfortunate. Different endings if you play in a reverse order. Whatever game you finish first is gonna have the twin rover cutscene, and then the other one will not have it because it will open a different thing, and then you can beat twin rover and Ganon, if that's what you mean. But as far as different endings goes, both endings are basically the same, whatever order you have. Oh yeah. Okay, so Black going into Onyx. I'm pretty sure he's still in Manip.
I guess he is, yes.
It's power ring level 2, the one you get. We'll see. If the Manip is correct, he's not gonna get any bad attacks. And he's also gonna get a perfect hole to fall into.
Oh yeah, that's the thing too with powering level 2. You just kill Onyx quickly, so you don't have to worry about wind attack.
Okay, pretty sure he's off Manip now, and he's taking a lot of damage. Using the start we mentioned, in which you power through Dean to get a double hitbox. It also takes the heart of damage, so that's bad if you fail it a lot. And now he has to do this entire fight with 2 hearts. So we'll see if this goes right or if he dies. Ooh, he goes for the risky strat to get on the hand and fails the jump to get stun lock. And he's risking it way too much for this. Okay, he gets on the hand for this attack. This attack sends you very far into the air, so it can sometimes be tricky to do things, because if you fall you have to wait all the time, but he gets it, so that's okay. Black is gonna finish in second with a time of 1:57.54 official.
GG.
So not in his timer, but yeah, GG. Sub 2, pretty decent, even considering how much time dungeon it was. But pretty decent showing. He's actually, with this PV, he should place on, I think, 6th Street, right behind Mashi.
I will see.
We're not gonna have a receding, but yeah.
57.40 is 19th. Is behind jungler.
Oof. I'm gonna see if he wants to have an interview. He's gonna open an ADX. I mean, I did the same thing with Aegis in my race, so can't blame him.
Yeah, Vlad gonna do like he do that on every race. When he finished the race, he just starts LIGX to try to get the world record on Hundo. He's pretty close now. But
yeah, I also saw that. I mentioned that he has world record on no scoop, as it's commonly known, which is the most important category on that. And you're also pretty close on basically every category.
Yes.
But yeah,
True.
He's a beast in this game, and a lot of the skills transfer over. It's just that he doesn't have the raw knowledge and the experience in the game. He can definitely lower this time a lot. It doesn't look like he wants an interview. but he also is not responding. He doesn't look like he's gonna enter. I guess I should just give up. So yeah, congrats Sagaz for the amazing time and for the not as close and amazing race, but a pretty nice race anyway.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week for a race against Linky. Black is gonna fall down to losers and he has to not fight, but race Vascos, which should be on next week as well. That's all for me and for Sagaz, I guess, as well. Where can people follow you now that we're at it? Never mind, I have this command. Yay, follow the runners here for more seasons or beta games like LADX. And follow me, I guess. I also have that. I don't run this game exclusively because I hate it. But
you prefer Ages for sure.
I prefer A Link Between Worlds to any of them. But yeah, this game is still nice.
That's right. You run a lot A Link Between Worlds.
And
it's pretty good.
Things.
It's pretty good Zelda to play casually. Really enjoy it.
Okay, that's gonna be all. As I said, have a good night, everyone. Have a good night, Sagaz, and congrats again.
Good night, and thank you for the commentary.
No problem. See you all tomorrow for what do we have tomorrow? Oranges versus Dragon. So bye bye.
Goodbye.